Not familiar with this. All right. There's an interesting back and forth between Avraham and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Avraham in this parsha, where you probably have 15 psukim in a row, and none can be explained al pipshat. The dikduk, everything is wrong. Everything projects a logic that doesn't make sense. We're going to focus on 3-4 psukim of the Bris Bein Habesarim. Avraham is going to do a very strange thing. Kadosh Baruch Hu tells him, take for me Egla Meshuleshes. I don't know what it means, Egla Meshuleshes. I'm telling you honestly. Does it mean it has to be 3 years old? Let's go in the psukim. We can talk about it. Okay. Wait. This. Vayomer Elav, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Avraham, Kechali, take for me. I don't understand why it's li. What needs HaKadosh Baruch Hu has it in his Bris Bein Habesarim. It's for Avraham, not for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You will understand what I mean in a few minutes. Egla Meshuleshes. What I mean, triangular, 3 feet, 3 years old. What is Meshuleshes? I cannot translate. Meshuleshes means triangular. That's the real touch. The A's Meshuleshes. The Ayil Meshulash. Meshulash is a triangle again. The Soir, the Goiz. I don't know how to translate Vesoir. Do you mean that we're talking about male doves? That the Shnei Teirim or Shnei Bnei Yoina? Or do you mean here bull? I don't know. The Goizal, and it's a bird. You can't say it like everywhere in the Torah, it's Sipar. You're talking about a Yoina, so say Yoina. You're talking about everything has the right definition in the Torah. Goizal? No. Definitely not. Okay, Avraham listens to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Vayikach lo Yisrael Eile, he took all of these, but then he's doing something strange. Vayvater Isam Batavich. He cut them in the middle. Rashi says it's because that used to be the way to make an alliance in that time. And so he did it on his own. Really. Which other Jew with it on his time? None. So you want to tell me that we're going to learn from the Goyim, because that's the way they do an alliance with the Avodah Zarah, that we have to kill animals for no reason, waste them, cut them in the middle, they're treifa. Just because the other guys are, that's the symbol of an alliance that you're making. And watch out, the pasuk is going to tell you, don't you think he didn't align them properly, the two parts? Vayiten ish bisroi likras re'ehu. Look at the lashon here. And he put each part of the animal, mamish next, across, or likras means, it doesn't mean likras. Likras is when you go fetch someone. When you go your rabbi comes, a king comes, you go and receive him, greet him, to greet. We're not greeting anything here. We didn't even need that part. Where do we care how they used to do it in the old times? Does it affect us? No, it doesn't affect us. Oh, now you remember the word in Hebrew that in the Torah, how we called tzipor. Ah, now it's not goizel anymore. It's tzipor, right? Interesting. You know, we learned about it by Balak, so I can tell you right away what the tzipor is. The tzipor is 370. Basically, reminding us of the 370 Nehurin Kadishin, the 370 lights that come out of Ari Chanpin and bring Shefa to the world. That's why, you know, the Zohar explains, the Midrash explains in Parshas Balak. Here, we don't know what it means. Okay, you want to emphasize that. Now, I don't understand, because I had a question, Vesoyer, what it means. Because for me, it means Torim. We're talking about a carbon ani here. It's very interesting. That reminds me, so this is what it reminds me, a carbon ani. Ani cannot afford a whole behemoth, so he brings birds. But here, it's singular. If there were two types of birds, it should have been Vesatzipirim loy basram. But that's not what the pasuk says. The pasuk says Veshatzipir, singular. Did he mean that he caught the other one? I don't know. Vayered ayit. We have to see what this ayit is. And so many machlokes in the Rishonim, in the Tanaim. All this, I'm just going to give you an explanation, not so deep, about the Indian. It's a beer of what was the purpose, what was the achievement, and so forth. I can't go too deep on this. It really, no, you won't understand me. Involves the worlds and the previous, the common. It's things we have learned in Otzres Chaim that comes to reality, you know, in these parshas. But here we have, first, let's go, because even with the others, if I have first to explain the first layer, then we can go deeper. Now we're getting nutty here. Vayhi hashemesh lavu. What a lashon. It's unbelievable. If we had to go in on everything, it has to be a share on every pasuk. V'hashemesh ba. So he says here, he was about to set. He didn't set. Is that so important? It means he was kia before Ben Hashmoshes, right at this moment. V'sardema nafla al Avraham, and Avraham fell asleep. Big tiredness came on Avraham, he fell asleep. V'hinei, and behold, Eima, a fear, chashecha gedoyla, very big darkness, noifeles alav, falls on him. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells to Avraham in this vision, Vayomer leAvram, Yodoya Teida, you shall know. Kiger Yehiyeh Zaracha. Interesting, right? He repeats Yodoya Teida. Kiger Yehiyeh Zaracha, that your descendant will be in Golus. They will be enslaved. Be'eretz loy lohem, in a land that's not theirs. Have you ever seen a ger in a land that's his? then he's not a ger, right? So what it means, everything is hinted in the passage. It's unbelievable, because the question becomes, why, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu already hints it, and why not say it clearly? Why wouldn't you say it clearly? You already want to inform Avraham. We're going to see Avraham is an old man. Avraham is a tzaddik. If something bad is going to happen, the Midrash says Avraham was supposed to live like Yitzchak 180 years. HaKadosh Baruch Hu thought, how can I punish the tzaddik? He's going to see his grandson Esav going on the bad tracks. He's going to have agmas nefesh. I need to take him 5 years earlier. So you see that in order to prevent agmas nefesh to the tzaddik, you were able to overcome the power of nature. So why here do you feel forced, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to reveal to Avraham Avinu that his descendants are going to be enslaved? As it says here, Va'avadum, they will enslave them. Ve'inu oisam, they will make them suffer. Arba me'oi shana, 400 years. For goodness sake, why? Now you expect Avraham Avinu, big Baal Chesed, right? He's going to do his Bris Milah, beginning of next week, the Parsha. Vayera elav Hashem, itel Hashem ei. So he's going to wait a second. I'm looking for guests, because he saw 3 people. He'd been running. You have such a rachmanus on travelers, on they're not even Jewish. They're nothing. They're not even related to you. Oh, but God forbid that you let them pass your house and don't feed them. Even the presence of the Shekhinah, you would stop talking to the Shekhinah. Why? Because you want to take care of Achnasa Sarchim. Avraham, it's great. When you heard this from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this bad news, why didn't you daven? We are your children. If you can have mercy, if you can be sensitive to the need of someone, a stranger, kol sheken that you should be sensitive to the suffering and the plea of Am Yisrael. Why aren't you? Why are you not? Are you not the same Avraham Avinu, Midas HaChesed? No, Avraham quietly accepts. Very strange, very strange. This whole concept of Bris Bein Habesarim, for many years I had a lot of questions. Did I answer all of them? No. Did I answer a lot of them? Yes. So let's go just trying to understand on a higher level. Obviously, we're going to go a little bit inside, but I want to pass on knowledge, because this knowledge makes you understand that the person has tendency, as soon as something dark happened in his life, I'm a victim, I don't know what to do. Not true. All the tools are here. We have a toolbox. In this toolbox, there's a few drawers. You have to take the right tool and take care of the problem. That's all it is. What are the tools? Let's go in the share. The Midrash says, because there's a underlying question. What's the difference between the Galus of Mitzrayim with the other Galuyas? You informed Avraham on this Galus. Why not about the others? There's going to be 4 more. It's going to be Bavel, Bais Rishon, Korban Bais Rishon. It's going to be Yavam. There is going to be Modai Parasu Modai, then Bai Sheni, then there's going to be the worst one, Edom, the one that has no limit. Is it with this year that I learned the differences between the different galuyas or not? Don't remember where I gave this year. Maybe now with you. I don't remember. Maybe I learned it with you. There's a huge disparities between the 3 and 1. Exactly like the lulav and the esrog. You have 3 galuyas that have a beginning and an end, preset, and 1 that has a beginning but no end. And the behavior of HaKadosh Baruch Hu after all these galuyas will be different. In the 3 galuyas, the first 3, it's Am Yisrael that has to come. The case only happen after tshuva. On the 4th, tshuva won't happen until Mashiach comes, but he will make all Bnei Yisrael get back the tshuva. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Zohar explains this difference in the Zohar. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that in the last Golus, I will go out with my entourage, of the king, or kings, and we go fetch the Shechina. And when he's going to come out, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's going to find the Shechina lying on the ground. At that point, he's going to raise her and he's going to console her and try to talk to her heart to forgive this oynesh of Galus Edom, because he's so terrible. When we say Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yoimar Keichem, it's not just HaKadosh Baruch Hu will tell us, come on guys, console yourself because I'm here. Not at all. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to come talk to the Shechina. Dabru Alev Yerushalayim. What HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the words that says in the Zohar there are beyond description. Maybe I gave it to you, no, that's sure, I don't know. It's a moment of truth that the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to reveal all the reasons of this Golus Edom and how we're going to take them down. It's going to be well deserved. Anyway, it's good that I brought down the Edom so you know there are 3 and 1. So the Midrash says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu indeed revealed the other 4 galuyas to Avraham. The only thing is he hinted it. He didn't speak it clearly, but he hinted it, and Avraham understood. Going back to the pasuk, because we're going to be close. I don't know, send me a chat. No, so it has nothing to do with it. Sure. Okay, so the Midrash goes, let's go to the pasuk to see exactly how the Midrash touches up how the word Ema, a big fear. What is the fear? Is the fear when Avraham saw that his children are going to go in Galus Bavel, the first Galus. Chashecha is the philosophy of the Yevanim who were trying to darken, have Bnei Yisrael Chaz v'Shalom lead the Torah. That was a very dark time because they had a Greek. It's Yavan. Gedoyla, it's big, huge. the one that was ruling on 127 nations. It's parasamadai. That's what the Midrash says. Interestingly, how many galus we said there were? 4. Where is the 4th? And we said that Edom is a different kind. Okay, but it's the biggest. Where is it? Where is it not mentioned? Chachamim come, so it was Tanakama. Chachamim come, said, no, that's not the way to learn it. They take the pasuk in Devarim and they learn from here. So, Hamoilichecha b'midbar, HaKadosh Baruch Hu conducted you in the desert, the big and terrible, Nachash, Saraf, ve'akrav. So where there are snakes, poisonous snakes, and scorpions. And still nothing happened to you. What do you mean, there's scorpions and all this in the desert? These are the head of the clippers. So you know it's a hierarchy. And this is at the top of the hierarchy under the 2 main serpents, which are the male, the Sam, and the lily. These are the generals of all the armies. Nachash, it's Bavel. And they bring psukim to everything. But if I had to go in depth explaining why they say that, we won't leave here tonight. Saraf is the poisonous snakes, which are Yavan, understood, with their philosophy and talking and teachings, it was very dangerous. And Akrav is the scorpion who hits from the back like the Haman. Okay, fine, understood. But says Chachamim, Noifeles is Edom. This is obviously something that challenges logic. Why can't you learn from here? Eima chashecha gedoila neifeles alav. Why can't you say like Tanakama? What do you have to need another pasuk? And you say, oh, by the way, there's a 4th. And the 4th you have to go back to the first pasuk. So if you agree they are in the first pasuk, so say them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. Then you have the 4 line. What need did you have to go in here? Second question is, al pi the Zohar, we know that this is also a klipa, thirst. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Okay, you don't want to learn it from here for whatever reason. I don't want to go into it. We'll explain everything afterward. You will understand very clearly. So what's your problem teaching me 3 from one pasuk and 1 from the other? Can't you learn 4 from the same? And Tanakama, why didn't you learn the 4th Edom from here also? At least you would have 4, but you're only mentioning 3. But there were 4 galus. Do you want to tell me that since it's a different galus, HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't tell Avraham? That's what I'm supposed to learn from the words of the Midrash? That's the intent? Because that's extremely important to me, because we live in a certain galus. We live in the galus of Edom now. And obviously in this psukim, I'm going to have the remedy. Despite living here, I'm not here. They can do nothing against me. It's like I'm not part of the world. Because there's no point just coming with the bad news, right? You agree with me? Poor Avraham Avinu. Does he need more agmas nefesh? He doesn't need it. So you're telling him, obviously, that somewhere in this psukim, I'm also going to see the light. Because always inside the darkness is a true light. The fruit is always inside the peel. You have a klipa to protect it. Can't be exposed to fruit, otherwise all the flies, all the chitzonim would eat from it. So it has to be protected. How is it protected? With these clippers. So it's very interesting, these two. I'm just going to double check here. I should. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. That's just the way. I want to reemphasize the question here because this is a valid question. If I take Nachash, Sarav, Akrov, Tzimoin, it equals to 1,496. And this is in the Yud Gimel Midas Derachmim. Exactly the same amount. Erech Hapayim, Verav Chesed, Ve'emes. So basically, Kel, Rachum, Ve'chanun. So it's fourth, fifth. Erech Hapayim, Verav Chesed, Ve'emes. Neitzer Chesed, which is the Mazel Ilah of the Bnei Israel. Okay. Nothing wrong to know that at least that if you call upon or you attach yourself to Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim, you can wipe out everything. And these are the one, if these clippers are making you suffer, then that's the way to, people don't know that a tiny bit of intent. When we open the Sefer Torah, for instance, by on Yontev, and we say the Yud Gimel Midas Derachmim, we don't know why do we say Yud Gimel Midas Derachmim? Why do we say it 3 times? We would put a tiny bit of intent in this, you can keep Yontev the whole year. It doesn't take much of intent. Yud Gimel Midas Derachmim are extremely powerful, extremely powerful. The Ramak wrote a sefer, Tema Devoira, all about, and we have in this year an expert on it, Reb Chaim El-Kabetz. The always learning that sefer, because it tells you how to press which button you press very simply by your midas, by your actions, without going into Kabbalah, into Hasidus, into anything. No, with your normal daily behavior, you can trigger the midah derachmim that you need. When you need to take a shower, you go turn the knob. Automatically, the water comes down. If you don't turn the knob, the water is there, but it's not going to come down. It's ready to serve you, but it's not going to come out. So what do we need to do in order to get there? So now, my question is really fundamental on Chachamim. Why don't you learn from the same puzzle? Here, at least I would have a teaching that I don't even need all the midas derachmim, only partial midas derachmim will take me out of the top general. So it means if I'm out of those, I'm out of everyone else. So a person should learn the Ramak, Pemer Devera, which anyway should do, but and know how to open up the shefa from every midah derechmi. That's all. Same way, a body cannot live without an neshama. The same way a mitzvah without intent is a dead mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah that goes up. It's a mitzvah that will be paid in this world. That's the difference between a mitzvah that's kept for Olam Haba to a mitzvah that's going to produce for the next world. All we don't need to know the shemes, the kavanas like this. We need to know that we prepare to make a mitzvah, l'shem yichud, just to have das, to have a little bit of intent, so we have a neshama, and automatically the mitzvah can take off and be there for us when we're going to need it. Some people are going to go there and see the davening and think, where's my davening? I never made it up. And so what happened? Where's my schusim? You were paid here and here and here and here. You have none. You are not owed anything. But as I'll say, that's not what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to teach us here. Doesn't want to teach us the Yud Gimel Midas Derachmim. So what does he want to teach us? Okay, let's work hard and find out. The first words of Bris Bein Habesarim were, Vayhi Hashemesh Lovoi. The sun was about to set. You know what we do in the Beis Hamikdash when the sun is about to set? It's the last moment to do the korban atomic. The last korban of the day, after which we're not allowed to bring any other korban to the Mizbeach. Finished. Says the Zohar HaKadosh, why do we have to bring the korban atomic at a time when there's dinim? For instance, Shachris, it's the chesed, it's the light, it's the day, it's easy to get everything. Mincha is a tough daven. It's a time of the dinim. It's Avraham and Yitzchak. Avraham is Shachris, Yitzchak is Mincha. And Yitzchak was Gvura, from where the dinim fits. He's not afraid of them. He can face them. He can destroy them. So what we do with the korban atomid is we break them, because the night is going to start. So for people not to be harmed, that's the time to break them, because you have to let them come out and then finish them all. And the raya of the Zohar is from our pasuk. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu instruct Avraham to do Bris Bein Habesarim only at that time? It's because he wanted to show him the klippos themselves. And this is when, and he showed them how they went up, and he showed them how they went down. And therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, only at the time, in the afternoon, late afternoon, that's why in Halacha, it's written that to daven mincha, it's much better to daven mincha ktana than mincha gdoila. People don't realize, think, oh, zrizi makdimin, let's do mincha gdoila. No, mincha gdoila is too close to the chatzos, to the chasadim, so they didn't have time yet to come out, the dinim. So you give them a haircut, basically, but you have not taken them down. But with mincha ktana that already came out, we take them down. So the Zohar explained a bit differently, but very much alike Tanakama. It says Ema is one klipa, Because in Makkos Bechoros, it says 3 languages of Bechor. Bechor Adam. You have Bechor Shifcha. Sorry, Bechor Behima, Bechor Shifcha, no, Bechor Behima, Bechor Shifcha, and Bechor Paro. And these are the 3 klippos. Again, no mention of the 4th one. Like Edom, what triggered it? I know so far it's a little bit of instruction in bubbles, but you will see how it's all going to come out. You're going to have one very nice, it's like a painter. You know, at the beginning, you don't understand exactly what is he painting, but you will understand very shortly. Only have to keep, we have 2 paths. Tanakama with the Zohar, Chachamim, 4 klippos, 4 galuyos. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu instructed to Avraham. What's the purpose? We mentioned what's the purpose of all this. I need to know how to get out. Oh, I'm in there. I'm living in Miami. No, it looks like I live in Miami. I do not live in Miami. I live in my bubble. I live in my world. And that world is closed. That's it. And every person, which is a full oilam, can put himself in a protected mode that nothing from the outside can come and bust your bubble or harm you. So we have sent one Zohar in the Tikkunim. The Zohar says that this pasuk comes to refer about four galuyos, meaning that the Zohar and the Tikkunim says no. HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed the 4 galuyos to Avraham Avinu. Okay, so we are forced to say Eima, Chashecha, Gedoila, and Noifeles, like Chachamim. Only that now we can upskill the question. Why Chachamim don't learn it from this pasuk? Now you see the Zohar and the Tikkunim learn it from there. Okay, I agree. There's a stirana in the Zohar that we need to answer. But we see that the 4th are learning from the same pasuk. Why do you need to jump around? And going back to the first Zohar, to give you the first yesod to understand what's going on. The Zohar goes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said about Amalek, Kimachoi emche, repeats that language, double language, in order to instruct us that you can only get rid of the bad if at the same time you trigger HaKadosh Baruch Hu to get rid of the bad up there. What comes down here and what hits us in the face, it's not what it is down here. It's an outcome from up there. There was a din in Shamayim. Everything is measured. A clipper was sent, and you got, whoop, a baseball bat in the chin. You look at the guy and say, oh, what did you have to do that to me? You? He's a shliach. He's a bad guy. Because Kadosh Baruch Hu only chooses bad guy to do bad things. He's bad, but he's not the instigator. The instigator, you have to go through him and go all the way up. Now you understand that this happened to you. You collect yourself. Automatically, you go into tshuva mode. I know nothing happens. The Gemara says you can't even move your finger down below unless HaKadosh Baruch Hu was geyser that you should do it. So I understand that he goes deeper and there's a din. Now you become a Jew. Now you're transcending the world. You understand now why you cannot judge. Never judge someone because Hillel says you never reach his place. So you can never judge him. Because what it means judging? Judging is taking into a bubble and say, this is the beginning here and this is the end. You premeditated, you did it, you're chayav. Hashem says no. In here, sure, you take him to Beis Din will be mechayev. There is a din in down below, but it's something even deeper. As for you, you have to know him got chayev in Beis Din, but you, the din is still up there. Collect your thoughts. Think what you may have done wrong. If you don't find it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a general tshuva, that will cancel the din like fire in straw. That's a lot of thought like this, but we don't think of doing this. That's the problem. So we're getting piles and piles and piles. Then all of a sudden we come. What happens? There's not a moment that you are free in the street and walking, going to shul, and you don't say Torah, so you don't say something. At that moment, these are the moments that you have free, that you can do the best tshuva. You collect yourself, things of what happened, what didn't I like, what did not happen. So obviously it's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So now you're in Machshava. The world of Machshava is the world of Atzilus. You go right up there. Your Machshava connects right to Atzilus. And it's not Babka Maisim and whatever. We do a lot with the Machshava. The Ramban, the Kanati brings the lotion of the Ramban. He also not learning from here. He goes take you from the machzeh of the vision of Yecheskel. He saw a fire on thicker on inside it, ocean smoke, and then darkness, and the light was inside. That was his vision. And the Ramban said, these correlates. The truth is, why is the Ramban has to explain us that this is the vision? What do we have from this? What do we gain from it? We don't understand that Eima Chashecha Gedoyla, what it is? The teaching here, second Yesod here, that's going to enlighten you not only this part of the parsha, but even what goes on after, is these are the olas on the bris. When the child is born, we call this the egos, the chestnut. No, not chestnut, walnut. Why? Because the walnut has 4 clippers, one on top of another. When it's on the tree, it has a green, then he has the shell, then he has another one, then you have the fruit. So, you have the green, you have a brown, then you have the shell, then you have the thin skin, then you have the fruit. We know them, we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a child doesn't receive his neshama as long as the olas are there. The equivalence to it is whenever a person does a chet, when these olas lie upon him, his neshama is gone. His neshama doesn't wait to be sold. The neshama goes. When he does tshuva, the neshama comes back. We never know what we do unintentionally, and we never know when this happens. That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu keeps us in the dark. Why? So the person, not knowing when he lived this world, so he's all the time b'tshuva, and that creates a bond with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. People don't realize. It says, "Ve'ahavta es Hashem aleikecha." I have to love HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In this year, we came out with a very strong vote. We said, "Ve'ahavta es Hashem aleikecha," equals 907. And say, how do I know I love God? Because you love your friend. If you don't, then you don't love God. If it's not by everyone, I love this one, but not this one. No, you don't love God. It has to be general. You have to be able to daven for all Am Yisrael, even your enemies. And if your enemies, HaKadosh Baruch Hu change their heart, that's all you can do. More than this, you cannot harm them unless HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided so. You cannot do nothing, and it's not worth, muddying your hands. So don't go there. Don't soil your mouth. Your whole kedusha of the body, of the mind, your connection to God is how clean is your mouth. Dusha starts with the mouth. You can be someone who doesn't know the halachas well, and you're not keeping Shabbos so well, but you have a clean mouth. Malach HaMavis cannot against you. You will leave this world with a shechin. Puma Kadisha equals Malach HaMavis. 652, 652. That shows you the teaching here. So a person, even though we had a bris, some people they had a bris and already then they are railing. So the Ramban wants to tell you what we're facing here. These are the ols. These goyim where we're gonna go to all have one of the ols. And the Zohar says that all of them come through to every time. In other words, even though Eima is Bavel, but at that time, says the Zohar, they're all included in him. Eima is the one that's seen on the outside because it's the leader. So we mention it by the leader, but in truth, Chashecha Gedoilo Neifeles are all inside. When it was time for Yavan, so it's called Chashecha, but you still had Eima inside and all the others inside. So every Galus is comprehended by the four forces. So we should never neglect and think, we only have that cleavage. It's nothing. No, they're all here. If one is here, they're all here. Automatically, we realize we have an equivalence between all these languages. Now, the question becomes, why does one chooses to teach us this teaching through that pasuk and others from another pasuk? Now, with the Ramban, we become a lot clearer here about there are only 4 olas, and these are the same 4 olas we had when we were babies, and we don't realize our body is going into an ola with our actions. And they have different names in the Torah for whatever reasons. And actually, when we get into too much one of them, we end up by these people. Therefore, I told you before, I'm here, but I'm in a bubble. Because you have to be part of them in order to be in their world. You can't be materially in a place without taking the space or basically belonging to those guys. So now we have to respond philosophically. What is the Torah in general using so many different languages to point out to the Samolas, tell me it's the Ola. And when I tell you, after that, you'll understand what's right after what HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Avraham, do the Bris Milah. Right away, Avraham did it. Because now he has an understanding of what these Olas are doing. There's a beautiful, beautiful Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer Agadol. He brings the words of his Talmid Rabbi Akiva there. Can't tell you the whole story he says or whatever, but look at the godless of Rabbi Eliezer Agadol. He says, do you know when this happened? Do you know when this Bris Bein Habesarim happened? Which day of the year? It happened Leil Pesach. On the eve of Pesach, when we bring the korban of Pesach. Well, we bring it earlier, but it's the day, the Yudalet Nisan. You know, what happened in the life of Avraham Avinu on the Yudalet Nisan also? That's the day Sarah was taken to Pharaoh. The night before, that's the day. Mamish like the Bnei Yisrael. You can see things are in play already by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he prepares, when he says, everything is programmed. The level of intelligence there is in something, Chokhmah, it's beyond the, anyway. So he says like this, HaKadosh Baruch Hu approached Avraham and he says, look at the stars. Avraham raises his eyes, looks at the star. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you know the numbers of stars? He says, there's no limit. So Avraham understands the question. The same way that there's no limit to HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself, it's beyond. He says, your armies also have no limit. He told him, this is how your children will be. Mamish, these are the words before Bris Bein Habesarim. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu then tells him, you have to make a choice, my friend. Your children will abandon the Torah and the Korbanos. Because as long as they bring the Korban, no nation can against them. No nation can overpower them. The Beis Hamikdash was taken only after they stopped bringing the Korban Atami. They used to pay a basket of gold and jewels, for one little a lamb, for one little lamb, until one rotten Jew told them, as long as you give them the lamb, you won't be able to. You'll be defenseless against them. There is a midrash of this youth coming out, 4 or 5 guys learning yeshiva. They used to decimate in Bais Sheni. The Romans were taking their armies, they were bringing hundreds of thousands, and they had to bring hundreds of thousands new ones. They were being decimated as long as there's a Korban Atami. Why? Because the Klippus took a beating, so they have no defense. The Umas have no defense on the other side. So keeps on going. The Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer, and he says, you have to choose. I'm going to show you the Gehinnom, and I'm going to show you the Goddess. And you have to decide for yourself, what do you want for your children? When Avraham saw the fire of the Gehinnom, he panicked. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him the images of the Jews going in chains in the gallows to Bavel. And Avraham was crying, and what have they done? What have they done to be treated like this and killed? And terrible things have happened then. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him. And then started. So since he chose the goddess, he had to do Bris Bein Habesarim to show him that he did the right choice. Oh, now he's starting having a light here. Why didn't HaKadosh Baruch Hu do it? Because Avraham Avinu was not yet fully a Jew, as he didn't have Bris Milah, and there's no koyach to a person to be mekabel a nevuah standing unless he has a Bris Milah. As long as he's associated with the other olis, the Shekhinah would not come down when he's awake. That's why right after he had the Bris Milah, Vayira Hashem el Avraham, he was talking at the Pesach HaOhel. Pesach HaOhel, we know it means the Shekhinah. So he was talking to him like you're talking to a friend. So comes Rabbi Eliezer. I'm going to go back to the pasuk to show you this on the pasuk so we don't lose you. update this problem. Oh, he says, Egla Meshuleshes. That's, he told him to take it because he wanted to hint him about Edom. Interestingly, he's going to reverse the order. The A is Meshuleshes. Then he's going to talk to him about Yavan because he was a very hard. So I understand to put Edom first because that's the one without any limit. It's been the longest than all of them together by far. The Ez Meshuleshes is Yavan. The Ayil Meshulash is Babel. In other words, we're having a different derech now again, how to approach the nevuah of Avraham Avinu. Was it from Eima, Chashecha, Gedola, Neifeles? Now, Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer tells us it's from Egla, Meshuleshes, Ve'ez, Meshuleshes, and so forth. Ve'ayil, Ve'seir, Ve'goiza. And what do I do with the rest? Why a repetition? Because Rabbi Eliezer Gadol himself brings Rabbi Akiva in this thing, that learns from so why wouldn't he tell him off? Oh no, you're wrong. You know, when would they argue in the Midrash? No, he doesn't say nothing. In other words, there is a path to connect all this and understand, you know. I don't want to say the reason because I'm not going deep enough into my explanations here. But yes, the truth is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him the door in and the door out. But in this year, you know, I think I'm not going to go that explain. It's too much. So we have to explain something also because Rabbi Eliezer is missing Edom. Oh no, we have Edom. We have, which one we missing? Oh, Parasumadai. We're missing Parasumadai. We have Edom, we have Yavan, the A's, we have Ayil is Bavel, Parasumadai, Edom. Yep, so we're missing one. Where is the one? And the second question now is why do we have a second repetition here? And you don't even argue with Rabbi Akiva. In other words, it's not a machloikis that we have here in the Midrash, it's complementary. How can it be complementary here? First, when we open the shir, we say we cannot touch the word Meshuleshes. Rabbi Eliezer keeps on in the Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer and explains Meshuleshes means strong. They're not going to come only once. They're going to try many times, 3 times. But on the third, they'll be finished. That'll be the Mashiach. All these nations, you think that because you finish with the Ola, you know, here, automatically you're done. No, they're going to keep attacking. But there's going to be a limit to their attacks. And it's going to be the time of Mashiach. This is when HaKadosh Baruch Hu finished them. You know, Bobo, do you think today Iraq can come and attack Israel? They cannot. What is the kavana here of Rabbi Eliezer? I don't remember something. I get my tree by heart. I have no menuchas hanefesh today, so I'll tell you. Usually I try to take before the shir at least an hour to try to reread and to compose myself, but today I didn't have a chance. So we're going to go the harder way at it. And you will start understanding now exactly and the connection to everything. If we take this word, because we couldn't translate it, and even in Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, look at Rashi, you will see how hard it is for him to explain it. Equals 1070. Correct. Equals the mother of all the clippers, which depends in the mouth. When I tell you everything is in the mouth, please trust me, everything. Don't even start, you say, I'm in Chuba, I'm going to change. No, change your language. Change your mouth, and you will see exactly. If we take the word sheker in full, Shin, Kuf, Rich. You got it. Their life, the way the stand is on the clip of sheker. When a person, no, I'm not making a big difference with the truth. The truth is like this, but I'm really saying it like this. I'm really want to say Lashon Hara on this guy. I hate him. So, you know, and I'm going to dress it like he looks like yeshivish, It's mutter. Equals kina, taiva, covet. You understand why it's called Meshulash? It has three inside him. Kina, taiva, and covet. No matter which way you're taking, there are three ways bringing you to Rome. The kina, the taiva, or the covet. You like fressing, or you like all these bring you to the clip of sheker. You pursue covet, clip of sheker. Well, you're already off the cliff. When you arrive to this, you're pursuing covet. You have to know that it looks like you have grounds under you. That's an image from the clipper. You have nothing. You're off the cliff. You're in the air already. You'll crash. So this is why it's called Meshulashes. The Egla, Rabbi Eliezer HaGadol here, his pshat will encompass all the other pshat. Whether it's Edom, whether it's Yavan, whether it's Paras, we're missing Babel. That's the question we see very soon. Whether the common denominator is they're all sheker. One is the attribute of the nation is kina. The other one is taiva. The other one is covet. And these are the three. And that's what he tells them. The three clippers of the Zohar are all encompassed in each one of them because the clipper sheker makes it. In other words, the whole entire galus depends in your mouth. It doesn't, yes, it depends in Torah, it depends in Korbanos. But if I want to be defining the border is there's still, even though you abandon Torah and Korbanos, if your mouth is clean, they cannot enter your territory. They cannot. They'll fight you. You're going to have a war outside these walls of things. Yes, you're going to feel the war. But they won't be able to invade you. You'll be protected. So we see here the value. Now, put Torah in your mouth, and you'll see what it does. Not Torah, which is from Kina, not Torah that's from Taiva, not Torah from Kovid. true Torah of Hashem, and you understand what it does to your mouth. First teaching we have, the Avraham wrote a sefer on as a pirush on Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer. It's called Yeshua's Meshichoi. Beautiful sefer. He proves through history that when the Arabs started, which nations, I don't remember it by heart like this, he said when Titus came and sieged around Yerushalayim, at that point there were no Arabs in the world. Muhammad came way later. So they were all pagans, you know, and from there, 600 years later, no, 600 years after, 600 years later, Muhammad came and went with a big army to conquer. So he went with a big army from Arabia, and he went to what we know today, Iraq. He went to Babel. And guy says, so he wanted to force his religion upon them. He says, you don't have to force, you know, no war. We agreed to it. Then they became Ishmael. Why do I say it? Because Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer says this toyer that we didn't know what it was. Is it the bird? No. The Rabbanel says toyer in Aramaic is shoyer. It's a shoyer. Normally shoyer is Esav. Wrong. Romans and Ishmaelim were one at that time. They were one when they came against Israel. So that's why he says, the Pasuk said it in Aramaic to refer to Babel. In other words, now we have the Goizol, the Tzipor by himself. Pasuk is right, talking in singular language. Because the Torah, Yoina is always the Bnei Israel. And the Torah now is Babel. Okay. And he keeps on. I don't want to go deeper than this. I just want to answer now why everyone flares up from a different direction if we basically all mean one thing. 3 olas, the bris, the mouth, and that's it. Now you're full Jew. Now you don't have to, I can't sit down to learn Torah and everything. I understand, because the all on you won't let you be. But you have to raise yourself through a different way in order to get there willingly, happily. How? Change the way you talk. Change your language. Have a Puma Kadisha. Send away the Malach HaMaves from you. You will be fine. Now, that's the last thing I want to prove you here. That's exactly what Chazal, everyone that came from a different side, wanted to tell us. Nothing more and nothing plus. That's it. So, let's go here and finish on this. So we had, do I have it? Yeah. So Chazal came from here, from these clippers. Not because they dislike the teaching of the other pasuk, is because they want to give us a way in order to know if Chas v'Shalom, the Shibud Malchuyas becomes too hard, so you have to know what to do. This equals to 1,310. This equals, the Mishnah says, Shimon HaTzadik Amar, Shlosh Dvarim Ha'olam Ha'imed, Ala Torah, Avoda, Milus Chasadim. That's it. They're just pointing to, you want to do tshuva, you want to do a thing. For Chazal, it's up there. Okay, we're talking about, in our galus, it's not so easy to do no Torah, avodas tefillah, gemilas chasadim with others. It's not so, we're not there yet. We have to cleanse ourselves even more so. Now this, sorry, I could have done this. This equals also if you take, so the oil mekif, the oil that we get in the bris on the outside, it's called the chashmal, like electricity. So 378, but you also write it, because we're getting in full, ches, shin, mem, lam. You're back to yourself. In other words, it tells you you have your neshama back. Guaranteed. You get rid of these clippers, don't worry. How do you get rid of them? Through the other three things. Torah, Avodah, Gmilus, Chasadim. They're gone. And you get back your chashma. But the other pasuk, we learn it from here. This equals to 991. You're going to see it's the same thing, same concept, but different way. In other words, when you learn Torah, you connect to the Bina. When you do Avodah, you connect to the Bina. When you're in the Bina, we know it's pretty swing Sukkah Shalom. So the guys in the church should already understand what we're saying when we're saying those words. It tells you in the place where you're going. So here you have 991 equals Malchus and Shechina. If just a different way, you put intent in your mitzvahs, what do? The Shechina goes up. The Shechina goes up. You go up together. Where do you go? To the Bina. In the Bina, can the Chitzonim be there? No. We all get the same address. We go exactly in the same place. Yesod of the Bina. At that point, no klipa can remain on the person. And then it's Olam HaTshuva over there. Then it's much easier. It's like Yom Kippur. It's much easier to do tshuva. When you do the Avodah, when we say L'Shem Yechud, when person puts intent in a mitzvah, and he always thinks that this mitzvah should go help the Shechina, this is the type of Avodah that brings the Geula. And this is the type of Avodah that's going to finish all these tools. When a person, this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to teach to Avraham Avinu. Yeah, you're going to say, can look at the big picture. They're going to be punished. They're going to be suffering. Already, you're not thinking. You're becoming judgmental already. You can't think anymore. In contrary, stay collected. Think. It's your biggest tool. Once you see the punishment, think right away, what's the solution to it? It's always the same solution. use any of the ways to go to the Bina. And the best way is, why do you have to walk all the way to the Bina? Use the Malchus. The Malchus will take you to the Bina. And together, obviously, you have now the biggest lawyer. The Bina is going to ask the Malchus, who brought you to me? That person. So automatically, the Bina is going to give him Shefa. So despite having different ways, but all these ways start with one thing. The word, the Milah. Because the Milah and the Milah are connected. That's why the very next mitzvah Avraham is ordered to do is Bris Bein. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu, Amen ve'amen. I just don't know. They have a new set here. I don't see where to stop here.
Do I give you inspiration for this year?
No. I wish. You always inspire me. Put it that way.
The Musser part.
I have the brand new thing. I can't see where to stop. Video here. Okay, now they have new icons. Well, I don't know. It doesn't say anywhere. Stop. Guys, I'm going to have to turn off everything because I don't know how to stop it.